Hello and welcome back to Crowwing FPV. In this video, I'm going to do Emuflight. Now, I know in my past video that I did Emuflight on my ProTech 25, this guy here, and I also have one of my 95Xs. I'm also flying Emuflight on, and this was actually the start of it. This is what began my journey using Emuflight. So I did it on two 2.5-inch pushers, and then I threw it onto my 3-inch cloud, and I was like, you know what, this is flying fantastic, this is doing a good job. I enjoy how easy it is to set it up and change the tunes with the presets and whatnot. So, you know what? I'm going to try it on my only 5-inch that I have, my freestyle. So I put it onto my Nazgul, and today was my first flight, and it was a super, super windy day. So I only put maybe a pack through it, and that was it. Just, I had to cancel it because it was just crazy wind. Anyhow, the reason I went with Emuflight was because my beta FPV just flew like crap with the stock tune. And I'm not good enough with tuning yet. I haven't quite grasped that, and I'm working on it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to flash it on there and just see. And I did. And it was amazing. It flew so much better. It flew so much smoother. I had so much more control out of it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on another one. And I threw it onto my ProTech 25. And it flew fantastic. So then I put it onto my Cloud 149, and it flew fantastic. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it on my 5-inch. And that's what this video is about. So let's get on with it. I'm going to show you some screen recordings of what I did to set this up. And then I'm going to take you out for a flight and show you my terrible freestyle skills. So, which, well, consists of a flip, a roll, a couple flips, and that's about it. But you get the point. So let's continue. Well, here we go. This is going to be done as a voiceover since I already recorded my process on this. So bear with me a little bit here. Okay, so once you get Emuflight installed and opened up, you click on Update Firmware. And of course, your quad's already connected. You bring this drop down here and you look for the correct target that matches your quad. If you don't know this, then you need to refer to documentation or the specs online. So then you hit Load Firmware Online, and then you click Flash Firmware. And it's going to go through and it's going to do a complete erase, since I chose full chip erase on everything. And it's going to clear everything out. And then it's going to go through and it's going to flash your flight controller with Emuflight. Takes, I don't know, a few seconds or so. All right, now that it's flashed, we want to go ahead and we want to connect to the quad. And here we go. So first thing I do is I go into ports and I set the correct UARTs for my VTX and for my receiver. All right, so now I'm going to go into configuration, and I'm going to come down and choose. Well, first I'm going to put my craft name in. Got to have that. All right, now I'm going to make sure I choose serial based, and then I'm going to drop this down, and I'm going to choose IRC Ghost.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
And Siri's talking to me. And then I'm going to take air mode off because I don't use air mode. Now I'm going to click save and reboot. All right, so everything's working. Receiver's connected. Now I already had Ghost already bound with the transmitter and receiver. And everything's hooked up in here. Now I'm going to head into modes, and I'm going to set my switches, which is my arm, my angle, my horizon. So anything that isn't set for angle or horizon is going to be acro mode. And then I do my turtle mode and everything like that. So just, like normal beta flight, you're going to set up your modes and set up your switches. What I'm about to say here is very, very important. And that is, before you do this, remove your props. It is so important that you remove those props. You can seriously injure yourself while doing this type of testing here if your props are on. So just do yourself, myself, and everybody else a favor and remove your props. It takes 30 seconds to take them off. Now, once I have the props removed, I click this here that I understand the risks. That's just like in Betaflight. And then I go through and I test to make sure the rotation of every motor is exactly the way that it should be. That the rotation's right and the numbering is right. And what this does is it just tells you that everything is set up right and it's going to fly properly so that the flight controller knows and ESC knows where everything is and how it's rotating so that you can fly properly. And that's all that this is. If it's wrong, then you need to make the adjustments. Like if they're spinning in the opposite direction, you need to hit reverse or non-reverse. If the numbering is wrong, then you need to remap them through the CLI. I'm not going to go on to that with this. I do have that in one of my previous videos, and I'll link that in my channel here on how to remap in a CLI. Now, it is using Betaflight, but it's identical. It's the same thing, same commands. Now in here, this is what I love most about Emuflight. They have these really, really well-made presets. And in these presets, we have all these different options. Now this is a 5-inch. I'm going to go with the freestyle. And that's it. I mean, that's all you do. You choose it, save it, done. In the OSD, as you can see, extremely similar to Betaflight. It doesn't have quite as many options for the OSD that Betaflight has, like GPS and all that stuff, but it does have everything that you need to give you the information while flying, running Emuflight. Like, for instance, the craft name, if you need that, it's not necessarily needed, but it does give you the battery information, it gives you the crossfire RSSI, it gives you the crossfire power, gives you what flight mode that you're in, your RSS or LQ value. I always like personally to have throttle position on there because I like to know what my throttle is currently at. It gives you warnings like low battery, low voltage, land now, VTX channel and power. It gives you all that information. And this is pretty much it. Once I'm done with this, I'm going for a flight. And that's all the configuration I did on this. And it took me to set it up. It took, I don't know, however long this video was in this part. It doesn't take long to do. It's really, really simple, straightforward, quick, and easy. All right, so it was really, really windy out there. So I'm not even going to bother giving you the sound because you just can't hear it. Pretty much all I'm doing is just talking about that I put Emuflight on my Nazgul and I'm going to go fly. That's really the gist of it, which I've already gone over as it was. This I was using as like a wind guide. That shirt there, that hoodie has been there for months, and it's just showing just how windy we are out there. And it's even worse. I mean, this is just constant wind, and then there's really heavy gusts. So, it is what it is. That's why I only flew one pack. And here I am flying the Nazgul5. Now, I did use Real Steady Go on this. It wasn't really like herky-jerky or anything like that. It actually flew pretty smooth, but there was vibration in the camera. It wasn't jello, but you could see some vibration, and that's mainly because I do have a prop or two that are a little chewed up, and they still fly just fine, but it does transfer into the camera. So I ran it through Real Steady Go. I'm using a GoPro Hero 8 that I decased and put into a Beta FPV naked case. And it worked great. This is probably my second time flying with it, and I just did the decasing, and luckily I didn't destroy it. So here it is. I did record this in 4K, 4K 60, and I had the stabilization off, of course, because I wanted to use Real Steady Go. As you can see, that the quad actually is flying pretty good. It's flying quick. Even with the extreme wind, there are times where you will kind of see it's moving sideways, and the sideways lateral movement is actually because of the wind. And we're going to see that here probably in, I don't know, a few seconds or so. But anyway, it flew good. It was very responsive. It was very smooth in its flying. It listened to everything I told it to do. I actually got probably quite a bit more flight time out of it. I would almost say probably 30 seconds, even with this wind, than I would normally get out of the same pack. So that's a nice little bonus. It's very responsive with rolls, with flips, and yeah, I think it successfully worked. So I'm going to leave this running. You can keep watching it if you want. There's nothing fancy. Again, I'm a crappy pilot, and I'm not good with all the flippity bippity and stuff like that. So enjoy. Thanks for watching, and please click the subscribe button for me, and have a great day.